views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey there, welcome to the Bronx Buzz. This is BronxNet's program where we talk to reporters and editors and videographers and photographers, underscore photographers for tonight, sometimes filmmakers and playwrights and all different people who are putting things out in the borough of the Bronx. And this evening, we're going to spend like a little bit of a holiday show with a longtime friend of the Bronx, somebody who you will recognize because he was the editor of the Daily News Bronx section for many years. And he worked at the Bronx Times as an editor for a while. And now he's just doing this stuff. He's taking pictures and he has some incredible photographs from the expanse of many, many years of just being out there. It is my esteemed pleasure to welcome back to the Bronx Buzz my longtime friend, Bob Kappstatter. Nice to have you with us, Cappy.
Nice to be back for the umpteenth time.
And
Yeah.
this time I'm not going to ask you the tough questions like, who's going to be the next mayor or anything. We're going to do something that is kind of fun. So let's just talk about the transition from, ace editor, a reporter to a photographer. Is it photography something you've always been interested in?
For many, many years, I've always enjoyed photography. I drifted away from it for a long while. I'm sorry I didn't pick up my camera earlier when I was working at the news and at the Bronx Times. But with new time, I found that I can really plunge into it, edit a lot of old stuff from my travel writing days, and I'm enjoying it. And half of it is editing old photos, putting them back together, and going out there and shooting new stuff. This is not my new career. This is just might be part of a little bit of a career, and we'll see what happens with it professionally. Who knows?
One of the reasons that we wanted to make sure to have you on the show and do it as a way of just, having a little bit of a different take for the holidays. I think the pictures are amazing. I really am very interested as we go along in finding out how you get these shots. I guess this must be the newsman in you because you seem to get photographs of people who, I don't know, either they're aware or not aware that you're taking their pictures. So I guess a little bit of that news hound is still in there, that you're able to get stuff without people really kind of.
Well, you know what, very much. I mean, if you're a reporter, you're there to approach people, often strangers, and you're also out there looking for details to fill in whatever story you might be working on. So all of that comes together with your photographer's eye too, approaching strangers, seeing something that other people might not see in a situation, and let's go.
All right,
Let's start showing them.
Now you have had the benefit of your many years in media, either things you did covering media or even taking vacations. So the first thing, we're going across the world to India, and this first photograph is of camels, a camel wrangler.
Oh yes.
Tell me about, was this a trip you took or?
Some of these photos are from my travel writing days. While I was at the Daily News, I was on the regular news side, but the travel editor liked my writing, liked what I did, and gave me a lot of travel assignments around the globe. I mean, wow. This one was in India, in Rajasthan. It was a desert camel fair out in the middle of the desert in northwestern India. This was the camel wallah, the guy that kept the camels together for us. And I spent 7 hours on one of these guys, busting my hump, getting to the camel fair.
That's good. That was good. That was good. That was a good bit of
There you go.
television.
But I mean, this was early. This was early morning sun in the desert, and just the way the light reflected off of his this orange turban,
Turban,
and
right?
camels in it, just made for a great picture. I'm
And
glad I snapped it.
the second one is a camel fair.
This is at the camel fair. Let's go to the camel fair.
and what is that? They sell camels, or they just bring
You
them
got
to show them off?
you got about a couple of thousand, maybe somebody said there were even 100,000 camels at this fair. I mean, this is all over northwestern India. They come to this fair. It's outside of the little town of Pushkar, but it's literally in the desert. And mostly camels and a lot of other animals, goats, sheep, donkeys, you name it.
And if you
Are we moving on yet? Click.
not yet, I want to just say one more thing
Okay.
about this photograph. If you
Oh yeah.
if you take a look at the front of it, you could miss it, but there is, I guess, a little girl in a dress with a hedge all over her head. It's almost like she's wearing it on her.
Oh no, that's brush to feed the camels.
This next one, I'll tell you, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Athens. This is a tremendous photograph. Did you wait a long time to get this, or did you just get really lucky? You would.
I was aiming to get trying to get lucky, and probably after the 10th shot, I got lucky to click it in time. So. Yeah.
On assignment, or just a vacation of some sort?
Well, it's funny. I had been up in Germany covering the fall of the wall and reunification, and I had a friend in Athens who invited me down. So I said, "All right, I'll just hop down. I'll work another travel piece out of this one," and bounced around Greece for about a week or two after Germany. And the friend was showing me around, fortunately, and we went. This is in Syntagma Square, at the Tomb of the Unknown Greek Soldier.
Let's go. Let's go down to Cuba. You have taken numerous photos in Cuba, and this one that you call the flag waver is not exactly waving.
Yeah. Or maybe I should call it a fanny pack. Maybe I should call it a fanny pack.
A fanny pack. Very good.
I don't
Nobody
know.
writes a better headline than.
Yeah. This was my first trip down there.
So where is this?
This is in Havana. My first trip down there about 2 years ago.
2 years.
I'm sorry, what?
That's what I want to know. How long ago?
Yeah, about 2 years ago. I was down there a year ago on my second trip, but this was the first trip. And obviously, walking around with 2 cameras and just shooting everything I saw. And there's a lot of you see a lot of people wearing these flag clothing, the shorts and t-shirts and tank tops. There's a lot of pro-US sentiment down there. It's just, it's the unfortunate political situation that these people live in. I'm hoping that Biden will loosen up the relations that Trump has slapped a whole bunch of sanctions on, and try where Obama left off, trying to open up relations with the country again. I mean, it's still a political dictatorship. I mean, it's basic. The country is basically run by the mob, wrapped in a flag of Karl Marx.
So the next one is, to me, it's iconic. It is just the Cuban fisherman. It is just a absolutely tremendous photo. There's depth in it. I mean, I don't know how you want to characterize it. Is this one of those people you tapped them on the shoulder and said, "Hey, can I take your picture?"
I struck up a conversation with this guy. I speak a little after 4 years in high school and 2 years in college, basically scraping by learning Spanish. I married a Puerto Rican woman, and I had to learn to speak to all the grandmas and the aunts. So I just, walked up, and this was the little fishing village called La Boca. I looked all over to find a fishing village on my last trip because it's the Hemingway thing. I wanted to find these guys. I found this guy, and he just, was happy to pose, and I forget it. I think his name was Santos. I can't be held to that, but
He
yeah,
doesn't
I
know.
love this shot. It's a great personality shot. Sure.
Tremendous. He
Yeah.
doesn't know, but he's on TV in the Bronx.
There you go.
Now,
You made it to
this
the
next
Bronx.
picture, I didn't know if this was a case of Bob Kappstatter with a sense of humor, or it really is a photograph from the Berlin Wall.
That
This
is
child leaning out from a wall.
that is the Berlin Wall.
Wow, what a photograph, Bob.
And you know, if anybody told me I'd be lugging concrete home in my suitcase,
Do you really have a
because
piece of,
yeah, because you know, on the West Berlin side, everyone was putting graffiti and painting stuff on the wall. So these were prized souvenirs. You'd have all this painted Berlin Wall chunks of concrete, which I later found out is just loaded with asbestos. So I keep it in plastic baggies.
All right, let's take a look at schoolgirls in London all dressed in blue.
I just love this. This looks like a story from some children's book. You know, it just I love these you know, their school uniforms, the colors, the activity. It just was one of those great snapshots. I just, you know, I think I clicked maybe 2 or 3 shots hoping to get a good one out of it. And this is the one that I printed. So,
and you know, I just love this is like a little travelogue, and I love it.
yeah.
The next one I'm going to Hong Kong, and
Off we go to Hong Kong.
prayers for the new year.
Well,
gathering.
Yeah, this was back.
prayer.
Oh gosh, back a bunch of years when the SARS, just before the SARS epidemic came rolling down from China into Hong Kong, and this was at the Wang Tan Sing Temple, where these people were offering their prayers for the new Chinese New Year to the gods, raising the prayers with the incense. So, and I was just in a little side elevated part of the temple, so I was able to get this good crowd shot of everybody praying away, but it didn't help. SARS came down and hit the place.
Coming back to the United States, I got to tell you, I love all these photos, but this photo is just so gorgeous. This is the Blue Ridge Mountains, figuratively and literally, in North Carolina. Now you have family in North Carolina.
Yep, as we say, I got kin down there.
As they
say. I also lived down there in a couple of years in my later teens, and there's still a big piece of my heart.
This is a morning photo. It looks like a sunset.
No, this is a sunset, and this is why they called them the Blue Ridge Mountains, because you get this wonderful azure look as the sun is at a certain point in setting. I'm ready to head back down in the spring. I missed the autumn because of COVID, but always eager to get down there, see my kin folk, and see those wonderful mountains and those great mountain folk.
I got to tell you, it is just a gorgeous photo, and you had sent us a copy that we have. I think I'm going to enlarge it.
Some people think it's a paint. Some people think it's a painting. You know?
I did originally and thought. In fact, somebody I know has a painting that looks like maybe they took it from your photo.
I have to add, this was in the autumn, and I waited for that sunset. I froze. It was cold. Anyway, let's move on. Oh yes.
Let's move on. Also in North Carolina, the homecoming queen.
Yes.
What do we think?
Well, you know, I have another shot with her face, with all of them, her facing the camera. And I said, no, wait a minute. I like this one more because it's almost a generic shot of a homecoming queen. There's the king looking at her. There's all the cheerleaders in the background. There's these 2 girls looking at her with adoration almost.
It's
a classic homecoming queen shot to me.
Yeah, with such respect. Did you shoot in black and white, or did you make the decision to edit and turn it into black and white?
I shoot everything in color, and then I convert, because I never know when the photo might come out better in color.
Better in black and white. All right, we're going to take a short break. We're We're going to take a break. We're here with former Daily News editor, Bronx Times editor Bob Kappstatter, now photographer, and we've got some more great,
among other things,
of the Bronx coming up. So we'll be right back on the Bronx Buzz. Don't go away. Okay, back with you on the Bronx Buzz. Our guest, Bob Kappstatter. Many people know him as Cappy, and he has brought photographs that he has taken, through his career and maybe even just the last couple of years, but something that we can enjoy as we get into the Christmas and New Year's holidays. So let's see, where were we? We were
Okay,
talking
first of
about
all, I'm not wearing my glasses because I get glare. So if anybody is wondering what happened to Cappy's glasses, there we go. All right.
Many
go.
people are wondering. We've already gotten
Yeah,
calls
I
and
know.
letters.
Okay.
Nonetheless, I have been down to the West Indian Day Parade several times. It is just one of the greatest events in New York City. And you just got this young, I guess, a young lady staring at you. There's probably 1,000 photos that you could.
Oh, Lord, yes. Lord, yes. And just, I was, working the line, and there's this great looking young lady, teenager. I don't know how old, and she just was posing for the camera. I love that shot. Colorful.
And it captures her pride and her kind of, she's so proud to be wearing that and representing it. It's just beautiful. I do want to ask before we even get to the next photo, what equipment do you use? Do you, at this point, you shoot with cell phones?
Oh, gosh, if I'm out there seriously shooting something, I've got two Nikons, large SLR Nikons that I use. I also use my cell phone a lot in, circumstances. And I also have a smaller street photography camera that it doesn't look as obvious as I'm walking along or standing on a corner looking for shots to come along. So a variety of cameras.
Let's move on here. Now, this is I don't know if we're allowed to say this. This is the drug crew in the.
Oh, come on.
I don't know what it is, but.
All right. Well, here's the story on that. I was down in New Orleans for the 30th birthday of one of my former reporters in the Bronx Bureau. And she said, come on down, Cappy. I want you there for my birthday. I've never been in New Orleans. So the first morning.
How long ago is this?
Oh, God, years ago. 30 years ago, a couple of 10, 20 years ago, maybe. So the first morning I started walking around the neighborhood. Her place was in the Treme. And I see these guys on the corner, and one of the guy with the plaid vest is taking a cell phone shot of the other guys. So I say, you know what the heck? So I go over and say, listen, I'll take you, get in the picture with your guys. I'll take your picture. Okay, man. So I take their picture. Okay. So I said, okay, my turn now. So I posed these guys. I said, all right, let's take them. And I took about 3 or 4 shots of them. They were reacting to the way they wanted to react to me taking their picture.
The next photo, we're going to bring ourselves right back up to the northern part of
okay.
US. And this is this
Coney Island.
Coney Island, and this little boy. Oh my! With the littlest bathing suit you could imagine. But and of course the police officer on his knees. What there's so much
on her knees. Her knees.
That's her knees. It was
that's a police woman. Yes.
Okay. And
sorry about that.
But there is just so much. The word I thought it was ethos in there. There's so much passion in there.
Yeah, she was, she was doing the job that, that we respect the police for. She's getting down to his level. He's lost, he's scared, and she's getting down to his level so she doesn't look like a big authority figure. She's holding his hand, and she's being real calm with him, calming him down. And yeah, I love this shot. One of my favorites.
I do too, and I'm dying to know. I guess maybe you don't know. Did the boy ever find his family? I'd like to
I
think.
would, if it's Coney Island, I would guess.
I hope.
I'm sure the parents went to some police officer. The police officer radioed, I got parents here, got a radio call back. We got the kid. Boom, together.
Oh, well, that's good.
It's standard
We go,
practice at Coney Island.
we go from one extreme to the other, and now let's
Yeah.
take a look at this motorcycle gang. I got to tell you, your news ability comes through because you're able to get shots of these people because you just talk to them and say, "Hey, let me take your picture."
Well, it's funny. This is one of my ongoing photo projects. I shot a bunch of them up at a street festival in Morrisania a couple of years ago, and they great post for the picture and everything. So, and I knew that they were from. This is over in Sunset Park. So one day I see a couple of them outside, and I stopped by and I said, "Listen, I think I have some shots of your guys," and I show them my cell phone on my cell phone. I said, "Oh yeah, that's us. That's it." And I started talking, and we started to really. And I said, "Listen, let me take you want your picture on your motorcycle?" And I started taking pictures of them. This shot, this is
The guy
Tony
gives
on
you the finger, man. He gives you the
well,
finger.
that's, they either give you, that's their standard when they're taking their photos. They either give you the finger or they give you the V sign for victory. Not personal. That's the way they do it. And that's Tony on the left. And the guy on the right, I didn't get his name. He was from the Queens branch, but, he pulls out his knife to pose with. And I had to say, no, wait a minute. No, turn your knife a little bit. I can't see the blade. Turn it a little bit so I can see the blade. Okay, there you go. Click.
Oh my goodness.
But they're vain. They're vain. They love having their pictures taken. I'm sure there's a couple, they got yellow sheets, as we say in the cop business, but they're older and maybe a little wiser, and their motorcycles are their thing. So it's an ongoing project. I hope when
let's
warm
see.
weather comes back, I'll get more good shots. I want to get shots of them with their ladies.
Okay.
So anyway, moving on.
We'll invite you back and you can show. We now have a Christmas tradition on the Bronx Buzz, and that is Bob Kappstatter and his photos. Nonetheless,
Okay.
the next is bringing it right up to date, essentially. It's Hurricane Maria relief effort for Puerto Rico. Was that here in the borough of the Bronx?
That was in the Bronx. This was when I was, I forget if I was an advisor or on staff as communications director for now Senator Louis Sepulveda. And this was the relief effort. And I was there, obviously shooting him and the other politicians, and I look, and there's this lady holding the flag right in front of all the relief supplies. Oh my, that's the picture. Grab it.
There's your shot.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
nice.
And again, in color. I have this in black and white also. I don't know which one works better, but the photo itself is, I love it. It's one of my favorites.
And also her holding up the bag like she's making her contribution.
Yeah,
It's nice.
yeah.
A Mardi Gras at a Bronx senior center.
Ah, yes. Ladies posing. It's just the photo speaks for itself.
The disguises are complete. You can't tell who they are.
There you go. There you go. Mardi Gras in the Bronx at the seniors.
This last picture, I saw this picture. This is dressed up at a Bronx catering hall. And I'm just trying to find out if Cappy went under the table with his camera, which is just
No.
Or did you slide your camera under?
Gary, get it. Come on, get out of there, Gary.
So how did you get this photograph?
I don't, I have to tell you, I don't recall if
I'm sure.
No, come on, stop. I don't recall if I took a full photo. I just noticed these two, young gals sitting there. And I don't recall if I took a full photo. But I said, you know what? This is a shot. A lot of my photos, I've started cropping, heads or tops or parts of people. I leave something for the viewer of the photo to think about. Imagine, this could be anywhere. This could be anyone. just it's
Oh,
a universal shot. Here's two young girls. They're at a dance. They're
right.
all dressed up and ready to meet somebody.
Well, you
That's
have given me something to
there you go.
consider anyway. Listen, these photos are just extraordinary. When you go out, do you say, do you say, okay, now I'm going to take pictures, or do you just have the camera with you and then just kind of whatever you experience?
It varies. Some days I say, you know what, I'm gonna take the big guns, the big cameras out, and I'm gonna go over to Bed-Stuy or Williamsburg and shoot Hasidim or something. Sometimes I will make it a day for a photo project, and other times I'll just have my small street camera with me and hope that I see something to
See
grab a
what
shot.
happens.
Yeah, it's
I,
always.
I'm sure I asked you.
I have to say,
Go ahead, finish up what
it,
you're saying.
it's a joy. It's a joy to discover that shot that catches my eye and says, this is something that's universal. It's not a snapshot that nobody cares about. It's something that somebody will say, will stop and look at a second or two and appreciate as maybe a piece of art or something.
Well,
It's
um,
also a statement about what I see. This is me seeing what I see too. So
I
it's an artist thing. So
You pretty much answered what my next question was. When you left the Daily News and stopped really being a reporter, I probably asked you, but I'm going to ask you again. But I
sure.
think you've already answered it. Do you miss writing and do you miss editing and reporting, or is this just another way of doing the same job?
Uh, it's well, partially. It is another way of doing the same job. I see, and I've told you this before. I had the golden years in the business. I mean, daily news, rock and roll, tabloid journalism. I did everything: courts, cops, everything.
Son of Sam.
Plus writing a political column at the news, and then moving it over to the Bronx Times. So it's like I know mobsters, I know detectives, I know politicians. It's just like it
And,
was a great time. It was a
and,
great time.
and now you know camels and ladies.
Well, now, yeah, but at the same time, yeah, I'm doing a little personal writing. I'm looking
Nice.
for my next career. I don't think it's going to be photography,
You
but
never
I'm
know.
looking for
Listen,
the next thing that I want to do to pay the rent. So
you are
whatever.
welcome back here on the Bronx Buzz anytime. I wish you and your family and your relatives in North Carolina happy holidays, all the best, stay safe. And it's just always a joy to have you on our programs and to be your buddy all these years.
Gary, be well.
Thank
Live
you
and
to
be
Rebecca.
well.
Thank you,
Bye.
Rebecca, our
Okay.
producer, and everybody stay safe. Happy holidays and enjoy with your family. Don't travel. We'll get past it and we'll have a great 2021. Good night.